Alright, in this video I'm going to show you why women crave to see that you are actually able to leave them. For anybody who's like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, if I'm in a relationship or if I'm dating a woman, why the hell would she want to see that I'm able to leave her? I understand that this doesn't make sense at face value, so I'm going to tell you a few stories and then I'm going to teach you some real life lessons and points, so that way you don't make the same mistake that majority of men do. Because if you notice, okay, how things are playing out, almost every single super hot woman is typically single. Typically what you see is not very many of them have children, don't have families, and don't have husbands or boyfriends for that matter. So what I can show you here is some inside, basically some inside secret tactics or techniques to really get yourself to stand out from the majority. So listen, every long-term girlfriend I have ever had my entire life, okay? Every long-term girlfriend. At some point, there was something that was said or something that happened between us two that caused either one of two things. Either number one, okay, there was a couple days of zero communication through the cell phone, and I mean zero, which means that there was maximum uncertainty, okay, at some point. Or, okay, there was a 5 to 7 day period where we did not meet, we didn't see each other, and we were on the verge of completely breaking up. And essentially during this period, we probably were broken up, mentally, emotionally. She was attempting to distance herself regardless. I was attempting to move on to the next woman. But somewhere along the lines, she wanted to rekindle, okay? So listen, it is better to be proactive instead of reactive, because this is what you have to understand. Somebody is going to create the storm first. Someone's going to create the storm first. There will be some type of argument or some type of disagreement at some point in the relationship, and she needs to see that you hold firm and you do not get overly reactive through that cell phone and you come trying to mend things and you're this emotional wreck, okay? So sometimes, this is what you got to know. This was a big shift for me over the years. Sometimes being proactive, okay, sometimes, or being proactive sometimes means that you do nothing at all. Okay, if you think about what most people think of when they think about being proactive, they think that you're actively trying to do something. No. Sometimes, if she creates space or distance, you literally do nothing at all. You do nothing at all. No phone calls, no text message, and that is you being proactive, okay? Being reactive would be you chasing her approval and trying to fix things. So listen, we all know the real word that people use, but just for the sake of the video, I'm going to use the word kitty whipped. You can use the word kitty whipped, you can use the word cat whipped, I don't care. She always wants to see, or she always wants to know and see if you're kitty whipped yet. She's like, okay, I slept with him this many times, is he getting weak yet? And she wants to know if you're basically becoming submissive to her. So she's almost like testing the inner strength of your psychology or your mental fortitude. And this is especially true the first couple months into the dating experience or the relationship, okay? This is especially true the first couple months in. This is what you have to know, is she's constantly testing that internal emotional fortitude. Like I said at the beginning of the video, why women crave to see that you're able to leave them, it literally turns her on knowing that you don't need her. I know that this is counterintuitive because you think like, wouldn't that person want me? Or wouldn't that person want to know that I'm here to mend this relationship and create that strong connection? Yes, but only in due time. She has to slowly discover your inner strength, page by page, as if this was like a drawn out novel. So, listen, this is especially true the first couple months in. I'll give you two situations. 2022, I was seeing this woman. She, I think at the time, was 22, and I was probably about 25, 26, okay? And it's about 2022, I think, was the year. So at some point, we were sitting there, we were watching a movie, and she gets a really bad attitude about something. And I must have said something that basically showed, like, I wasn't basically gonna, like, bend and break and try to please her, like say the right thing. Like I probably said something that gave the impression that I don't care. And what happened was she said something along the lines of, well, I guess I'll leave. And she just gets up. She goes, all right, well, I guess I'll leave then. And she says it with this like nasty attitude, right? So then what I did was I just walked over to the front door, or I walked over to the side of the garage door, and I hit the button and I just opened the garage door. And I said, all right, bye. And she just walked out and said nothing. Well, then what happened was she literally got down the road. Okay, this is probably like 4 or 5 minutes later. She's driving. She calls to apologize. And she says how she overreacted. This would not have happened, okay, if I tried to chase her approval and say, no, I'm sorry that was said. Finish the movie with me. Oh, please, blah, blah. That would not have happened. The only reason that happened was because respect level increased because she saw strength. Okay? Next thing you know, a day or two later, then she wants to come back over. So that's one situation. I'll tell you another situation. So a couple years ago, I was dating this woman, and we had this disagreement, okay? Or we had this like argument over something, or she says something, or I said something, okay? Whatever the case may be, you're gonna just notice the first couple months in, women say and do things to push your buttons, to know if you're going to get pissed off, or if you're going to get argumentative, or if you have the strength to walk away. And something was said, or the energy was wrong, or the mood was off, and there was this disagreement. So I just literally sat on my ass and I didn't do anything, and I didn't call for like 5 days. I didn't call, I didn't text. And then pretty soon I get hit with the text message saying, can we talk? Okay, I already knew what that meant. Then on the phone, a couple hours later, she's saying how she typically wouldn't do this, but she sees a future with me, and you know, she really wants to marry me one day, and all this stuff. So because of that, then we end up seeing each other again. But this is what I can tell you is every long-term girlfriend or every long-term relationship I've ever had, there has been some type of test where she needs to know if you can walk away or not. Okay, so that's what I can tell you. Now, what you need to do here, okay, how do you fall into this trap where it positions you in a way where you're not able to walk away? I'll show you what happens. You need to be aware of making micro concessions of your time, because women are always going to try to get your time, especially if you're dating. She's always going to try to find a way to say something to get your time or your attention. You could be working and she starts sending you different video clips and memes and things that are funny because she wants your attention. She's going to try a bunch of different ways to get your valuable time and attention. So with that said, you have to beware of making micro concessions of your time, and how this is like a slow burn to the end of the relationship. So what I can tell you is, just because she keeps asking to see you all the time does not mean that you always have to say yes. See, most men don't understand this. They think that since she keeps asking to see him, or that guy thinks that since she keeps asking to see him, oh, he's just got this. Oh, he's calling his friends. Oh yeah, dude, she loves me. Oh man, she's hooked. Oh yeah, I'm gonna marry this girl. I can see that we're gonna have this future together. All of this, right? She keeps asking to see you, but that does not mean that she always wants you to say yes, or that she's expecting a yes, okay? She wants to see that at times you're unavailable. And I will tell you, the man who runs the biggest risk of this issue is not who you think. This is not just guys in the initial dating stages. A lot of times, this is actually long-term boyfriends or even husbands. This becomes especially true because they don't understand the line of questioning that she's going to use in order to get your time. They don't understand this. See, so here's what's going to happen. When you're in a long-term relationship, or when you have a wife, or when you have a girlfriend, okay, every single day that you're awake, or every single day that you're in that relationship, here's what's probably going to happen 6 or 7 days a week. She's going to say, what are we doing tonight? She's going to ask you this almost every single day. What are we doing tonight? What's our plans tonight? Or she's going to ask you this. So what are we doing for dinner tonight? Okay? Notice those two questions. Or she's going to ask you, hey, what's the plan this weekend? She is not asking this to gain an answer. Here's what's actually going on. She is trying to assume an automatic yes, that you are available and that she gets your time. If she says, what are we doing tonight? Or if she says, what are we doing for dinner tonight? The assumption being made is that you're going to be here at home with me, eating dinner or hanging out with me. That's the assumption. She's trying to assume and get an automatic yes that she gets your time. Now, for a long-term relationship to keep that thing going, obviously you guys have to have a good cooperative cohesion, but from time to time you have to be able to say no. If she sees that now you skip the gym all the time, or it's like, let's say every single every single day when you met her at 6 o'clock at night or 6 p.m., you'd go to the gym every day. And now all of a sudden you're in this relationship and now you skip a third of your workouts. Or now you're in this relationship and you don't see your friends. Or now you're in this relationship and you don't talk to your family as much. Okay, these are big no-nos. You cannot do this, okay? Because that's actually going to turn her off. Just because she's asking to see you, keep in mind, every time you say yes, that might be the last time you see her because of the mistakes you keep making. So your cell phone dependency is most likely what's keeping you stuck. For me in my younger years, this was especially true, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because if this was true for me, there's a very good probability that at some point in your dating life, this has been true for you too. What you realize with age is that there is no need to text message. If you go back at your failed relationships or your failed dating experiences with women, you'll notice that majority of the text messages sent was a form of offense, of you trying to get a reaction or you trying to say the right thing, and it didn't need to be said at all. And every single time you play offense over the phone and you try to go for that call or you try to go for that text message, you're taking a risk that you get ghosted. Now, if you would have just sat back and done absolutely nothing, there's a very high probability she would have called you. So there is no need to text, okay? If it's the end of the conversation, it's the end of the conversation. You can like her message or heart her message and it's over. You start to see that, hey, nothing more needs to be said. Now, that means if she wants to talk, she can re-up communication at any time. She can contact you, okay? And it's far better if she does that because women seek reassurance from the man that they're dating. The woman seeks the emotional reassurance from the man. Okay, if you as a man are seeking the emotional reassurance from her, she now senses weakness. You're supposed to be the strong one. You're the big strong man. You got to act like you actually have that strength. If you as a man seek reassurance from her, she senses weakness. She needs to see that you're not emotionally dependent on her. That's what she needs to see. You are not emotionally dependent. So you need to always expect some type of pullback. Okay, when she tests you to see if you are kitty whipped yet. She wants to see if she has you good. All those noises you two are making in the sheets, oh yeah, she wants to know if you're turning into a weak guy and she wants to know if you're kitty whipped yet. This is what's going on, especially from super hot women. Because you have to ask yourself this. I have a question for you, okay? Have you ever asked yourself this right here? You ever asked yourself this? She's so hot. Why is she single? Seems like a lot of guys would be wanting her. She's so hot. Why isn't she married? She's so hot, right? Why isn't she married? Makes no sense. You ever notice how the hottest women seem to never have kids? You ever notice that? Go on social media or go out in the real world, right? A lot of these women, they're busy pushing their dogs and strollers. Ever notice how the hottest women never seem to have any kids? Okay? You ever notice how her social media is only her with 0 friends, 0 family, or 0 boyfriend? It's all just about the clothing that she wears and, you know, her yoga pants and all that. You ever notice that? Because I notice that too. Women do not want to settle at all. This is what you're going to find. Women don't want to settle at all. Women, a lot of times today, feel like they do not need men. So women don't want to settle at all. A woman wants the best that she can get, and you become that by not needing her. That's how you become the best that she can potentially get, is by you not needing her. And when you don't need her, she starts to want and crave and desire you. If you like this video, go down below and look at all of the successes that I have had in my community, because I've helped guys just like you. I've been helping a bunch of dudes learn, understand, and master the language of women, and I teach this stuff better than anybody, and I teach it in the proper sequential order. So that means that the coolest part about the thing that I built, okay, is that I created a step-by-step process to help you learn, understand, and master the language of women, and I have this broken down in sequential order. So there's different phases. When you step into that process, I'm going to show you front-end game, how to act when you first meet the woman. I will show you middle game, how to act on the first 1 to 3 dates and what to do. And then I will even teach you back-end game, how to properly carry out a successful long-term relationship. This is so that way you can attract the women that you genuinely want, without being left, or without her pulling away, or without her breaking your heart, and then you repeat this same cycle. I'm going to give you tools to actually help solve these things. Because I teach this better than anybody, And you're going to actually see this. When you actually go down below and you see that page, you're going to see a bunch of cool student successes. Some of them, when I read them, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You will see this for yourself. Join us inside of that. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.